We're at Luray Caverns, Virginia. Beautiful place. Getting ready to go on a cavern tour here. Show you some of the mountains out there. It's a really pretty place. Mountains all the way around us. Very pretty. Yeah.
Just realize that.
Welcome to Luray Caverns. The next cavern tour will be starting soon. Please begin to assemble in the workout here of
It's ramps, but there are some hills, kind of like entirely flat. It's right below us a little bit. Oh, okay. Especially underneath this hill. Thank you very much.
What's crazy about this whole deal is we just drove probably 100 miles on a back road to get here and couldn't find a gas station. And we thought we passed this place up, but guess what? The gas station is where the place is. So we actually made it to the gas station. Going to be able to do this tour. We didn't think so. We thought we was going to go home. So this is going to be great.
There's a tour guide at each spot. So I was actually an extra, so I would just stand. I stood at Dream Lake and I made sure people kept moving. I'm like, keep moving, because they think they see that it's so pretty, but they're like, they forget that there's the rest of the cavern that they need to see, you know? And they forget that there's a bunch of people behind them, so you have to keep moving. Anyway, so we get a private 13th of 1878 by 3 men: William Campbell, Andrew Campbell, and Benton Stebbins. So the 3 men were searching the area above ground because they saw signs of caverns such as surface sinkholes and exposed limestone. And as they were searching the area, William stumbled over a large sinkhole that was approximately 40 feet in circumference and 8 feet in depth. Now, right at the center of that hole, there was a small quarter-sized hole. I don't know if you guys saw the picture out there. Underneath of the thing, it was emitting cool air on that hot August day. So they then began to dig at that hole, and after digging for over 5 hours, Andrew was the smallest of the 3, so he was the first to enter in up here.
Up here.
A hole marked by that cross. Now they eventually dug it out more, and put in steps once they realized it was a cavern, and they bought it, and you know, but they did not have it for long because they were trespassing when they found the cavern. So when they bought it for dirt cheap, they ended up getting taken away from them anyway. So the owners that have it now have owned it since 1901. It's descendants of the Woodcock family. Yeah. So they slid down that hill, and this was the first formation to catch their eye. Keep in mind, this was after they slid down the Total Cave Darkness and lit a lantern. And it was like,
could you imagine seeing that?
And they saw this, and they named it the Washington Column after our nation's first president, George Washington. Yeah.
Wow.
So while we're walking to our next stop, which is the amphitheater.
What are these exactly? Are they limestone?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna explain everything to you. But as we're walking down to our next stop, which is the amphitheater. No, you're not. I was about to tell you that. So as we're walking down there, welcome to the Luray Caverns. My name is Katie, and I'll be your tour guide today. Now, there are a few guidelines we have you follow while you're in the cavern. Please stay on the pathways at all times, which isn't obvious. It's for safety. Please do not touch or handle any of the formations along the pathways, on the floor, ceilings, or walls of the cavern. This is because our hands have natural salts and oils in them that will stunt the formation's growth, if not killing them off completely due to handling over time. Yes, about 50% are active, 50% are dormant. And there are lower guardrails throughout the cavern. Just don't sit, stand, or lean on those. It's not really that big of a deal. There's 2 of you. You guys probably know that. And don't go over them.
So do you just send
And you
it
can use these handrails, yes, there's signs that say that throughout. Personally, I suggest that you use them, because I don't know you guys' footing. I use them most of the time. I know where I can stop using them,
Yeah.
but I use them most of the time, whenever they're
Well,
available.
I was planning on putting my tennis shoes on, but we didn't have time. So I
Yeah.
got stupid flip flops on.
You should be fine.
Oh, that's
So throughout the caverns, you'll see 4 main colors. The color you'll see the most of, as you're looking around, is the orangish brown color, which is iron oxide. You also see this grayish black color, which is manganese oxide. If you notice running down that, there's a white color that comes from the dolomite, which is the bedrock. That white color is calcite.
Now,
And those 3 colors are minerals that are found in the droplets of water. Watch yourself. The 4th color you'll see is the green color. If you look around, you might find some. Right up there, some. That is actually some moss. So what you'll find on the ceilings and floors is the darker green, which is the moss.
Can I ask you a stupid question?
And let me finish this one thing. And if you look at the active formations, the wet formations, you'll find the algae. So those are the only 2 plants we have in here. That's because our light acts as artificial sunlight, and we have the water. It makes a good environment for those specific plants. And what's your question?
A stupid question, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Once they dug in and they got inside, did they have to like dig all this out, or was it already open?
80% of the pathways in the cavern were naturally carved out by water, and the other 20% we've had to make ourselves using pickaxes, shovels, and in some cases even explosives. Now that also does account for the bridges and all that we've built. So you'll see throughout what we've put in, what we haven't.
Yeah.
This right here, all that you've been in so far, was naturally like this. There was actually water that flowed through here at one point, right through the whole cave. That's how this all forms. That's how it all washes out, is water. Strictly water for everything. Now, it does take the initial jolt, the initial break in the bedrock for it to start, which is what I was about to talk about. So the area above ground was once covered in water. It was an ancient seabed. As the plates shifted and the water resided, it created cracks and crevices in the earth. The water that then remained above ground in lakes and puddles started to seep through the ground, collecting minerals and carbon dioxide, creating a mild carbonic acid, which is a solution. Now this mild carbonic acid began to eat away at wicker bedrock, forming chambers or rooms like the one you're in now. Once chambers are formed and harder bedrock is left behind, water droplets start to rest on the ceiling, depositing minerals as they fall to the ground, depositing the remaining minerals in the droplet. Now over time, once those minerals rest there, they actually crystallize. So the inside of all these formations, what you were asking earlier, is all crystal. The outer layer is the minerals, the inside's the crystal. It'll look pretty much identical on all the insides. Some of them have rings on the inside. Those are mainly the iron oxide ones. Because, the iron will build up and it can't be removed when another layer builds up. It'll just stay the way it is.
So pretty.
Now, those formations do take, I have to tell you what kind of formations they are. So, the water drip from the ceiling to the ground. So those are known as dripstone. And examples of dripstone are stalactites and stalagmites.
Okay.
And a stalactite hangs tight to the ceiling, while a stalagmite might reach the ceiling one day.
Oh.
And that's how we remember it. That's how I remember it. That's how my mother taught me to remember that.
Wow.
And these formations do take 120 years to form 1 cubic inch, or the size of a die.
Wow.
Cool.
So over thousands of years, as these formations grow together, they formed columns. You notice that's a column.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at.
It's a rather tall column in here. It's not the tallest, but it's a rather tall column in here. And so those are dripstone. There are a few other formations in here that I'll point out later on the tour. Our next stop's the fish market. On the way there, we'll pass underneath through the natural bridge. Like I told you before, 80% of the pathways were naturally carved out by water. And this is one of our most well-known ones because it actually forms a perfect doorway. We get to walk through because it works perfectly for the pathway. So, like, why not? Why not walk through?
Oh, yeah.
And if you look around, you see all the different colors, and they actually mix together in order to form different colors. But those are the 3 minerals that we have in here they mix together, it's still those minerals, it's just a combination of them. So you see that black, that's manganese. That's pretty much the last manganese you'll see in here. I mean, you'll see it here a little bit, maybe, but most of it you see iron oxide and calcite. Now this is pure iron oxide. You can see it. It's pure.
Wow, look at that.
And you see the whites flowing down, mixing in, so it makes it yellow color. Now, the Luray Caverns is the solutional caverns, being that methylmalonic acid is the solution.
This is crazy.
Yeah. So that's how it forms. It's a solutional caverns. It has to take, that solution started everything.
Wow.
Without that solution, it wouldn't have gotten anywhere. And the base for this cavern is sedimentary bedrock, which is the bedrock that the cavern needs in order to form a decent size, because when the plates shift, there has to be weaker material in that rock to wash out in order to have space like this.
Yeah.
And that's what sedimentary bedrock has in there, is a lot of weaker material. Sometimes sandstone will form, but it's not salt. You have salt caverns. You know, I think there's some sandstone stuff, but I'm not sure. But this is the fish market. The reason why we call this area the fish market. So if you notice those formations right there lined up along the wall, resemble fish from an older day fish market that have been cut, cleaned, and hung up to dry.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So could you guess what kind of fish those are?
I would say they're probably tuna.
Not tuna, no.
I wouldn't know.
Trout.
Not trout, no.
I have no clue.
Those are rockfish.
Oh,
Fish.
That's a good one.
Rockfish.
That's a rock
Now, I do
fish.
have to warn you, I am the punniest tour guide here. I told you when you're coming down. If you don't like puns or rock jokes, I'm sorry if it makes it that way. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I do promise that my jokes get better as I go. I promise.
Well, hey.
For some reason, I always get off to a rocky start. All right. Now, if you notice how those formations are wet and dripping,
Yeah.
this is because these formations are currently active or growing,
Oh, okay.
as opposed to the ones on the ceiling above them that are dry and chalky,
Yeah.
which symbolizes that they are currently dormant.
Okay.
Are not growing. The ones that are dormant may become active again.
So those could
it just
even
depends
get
on
longer. Those could even get longer then.
Oh yes, they can. However, the speed of growth, it would take a long time to
Very
see a
slow,
difference.
yeah.
It's very slow, particularly there. It's very slow. They are dripping, however, they're not dripping that fast.
Right,
So
yeah.
the faster they drip, to an extent, the faster they drip, the more it builds up.
Right.
But then if the water gets too fast, it actually does the opposite. It takes away more than it puts up.
Oh, okay.
So if it was a steady, like kind of, if you turn on a faucet and you run it over the counter,
Yeah.
that type of sound that it would make when it hits the ground, if that was making that sound, then it would grow fairly well.
Okay.
So our next stop is Dream Lake. Dream Lake is the largest body of water in the caverns at 2,500 square feet. Now keep in mind, Dream Lake is a perfect reflection of the ceiling, which makes it appear to be deeper than it actually is, but it's actually only 18 to 20 inches at the steepest points, and 3 to 6 inches at most points in the lake. So this first part here that you're seeing is 3 to 6 inches.
Oh.
And then right here where I'll be stopping right in front of me will be the deepest
That's
point at
crazy.
18 to 20
That's
inches.
crazy. Look at that. That's so freaky.
We're seeing the reflection.
Yeah, of the ceiling into the water. That is crazy.
It's not actually the floor. That's the ceiling.
Wow.
The floor is water.
It almost looks like glass.
Someone's been throwing coins in there.
Now, nothing lives in there, right?
No. Someone's been throwing coins in there.
And they don't
Today,
like that?
I guarantee you. No, we don't let that, we don't do that in here.
Oh.
We have a wishing well for that purpose.
Oh, okay. And nothing actually lives
There
in
wasn't even that many coins in there. I know it's from today, or this weekend, rather. Nothing lives in there, no. His family had already told him to get down, like, you can't be up there.
I suppose you'll have
And he's
to
like,
put
I'm
signs
sorry.
up.
We have a sign that says no climbing
Yeah.
on formations at the entrance. We tell you not to
Yeah.
touch or handle any formations, not to go over the handrails, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stay on the pathways, we tell you that. You know, there's nothing we can do about those people that are gonna do it.
Yeah, they're gonna do it, yeah, no matter what.
But we are now approaching Pluto's Chasm. Pluto's Chasm is 500 feet in length and 70 to 90 feet in depth at the deepest point. Now, as you come up, the reason why this is called Pluto's Chasm is because it's home to Pluto's ghost, which is the white calcite column. So as you come up here and look over the handrail, you will see the white calcite column. Now, Pluto's ghost name is broken out into two parts. Pluto being the Roman god of the underworld, and ghosts were when the first three explorers were exploring the cavern. It actually felt like the white figure was following them.
Oh, okay.
This is because they saw this figure 3 times during the exploration, and each time it got closer to them.
Oh, okay.
So in turn today, you guys will see this figure 3 times during your tour, and each time he will get closer to you.
Yeah. Oh, somebody.
So as you make your way around the corner, look over the handrailing to your right to see the world's largest, oldest, and dirtiest pair of false teeth.
That's funny. That is funny.
Also earlier when I was at Dream Lake, I was trying to cut around that trash can. This is also why we tell you to stay on the pathways. I was trying to cut around that trash can, and I'm experienced in here.
Yeah.
I underestimated the height of the ceiling
Oh,
and
no.
hit
Cracked your head.
bang my head on that ceiling.
Oh, that's something I would
And
do.
I was dizzy, and my head still feels funny from
Oh,
it.
gosh.
But you know, I don't have a concussion.
Hopefully
I would
not.
be puking or something.
Yeah, yeah. Our little granddaughter had one a couple months ago.
I have a hard head. I'm very hard-headed. As a child, they called me Jughead
Oh,
because my head was so big. My head was, when I was born, my head was just as big around as my body was, you know. I had a big head. I still do, you know, but compared to my body size, it's fine. But my body structure, rather. But yeah, I hit my head, so it's really easy to do.
Yeah.
Twice today I hit my head. But here's Fish Market again.
Yeah.
We basically go around in a figure 8 and wind up where we started. Yes, I'm going to toss these. I think this is cool how that made like a perfect box there.
Yeah, that is.
You see that? They just made a perfect box. Oh, I was wondering, like, was there a box there that made that? I'm like why did
We went to Florida.
Look at this.
And he's been
Hey.
videotaping all along.
Look at this.
But
You see something creepy? There's a face right there looking at us. Remember the ghost? Look, is that creepy or what?
You want to see something even creepier?
Oh, yeah, back in the corner.
Look, it's a ghost. It's sitting there
You
staring
want
at
to
us.
see something even creepier?
What's that?
Right back there's the real ghost. It's on the wall.
I see.
You have to zoom out. See on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's the real ghost.
But is that one it? Did you see that one?
Yeah, well, yeah. Tourists have pointed it out before.
That's crazy.
Yep, it's usual. Yep. It's actually, that column has a name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll tell you guys about it once we get around the corner. So this pathway below us is known as Skeleton Scorch, which sounds like a really creepy name, doesn't it?
Yeah. it does.
Skeleton Scorch received its name a few months after the discovery. When the 3 explorers were coming through here, they actually found skeletal remains scattered along the pathway.
Oh, no.
Yep. They were able to identify some of these remains as being a young Native American woman in her late teens, early 20s. The first thought when they found these bones was that she found her way down into the cave and couldn't find her way back out, which would have been unfortunate for that young woman. However, they only found fragments of her remains. So they later found out that she did indeed die above ground, was buried, and sank in through a surface sinkhole right above their heads.
Really?
So her bones washed in somewhere in this crack. Now they do believe that there still are remains up in the ceiling somewhere because they only found fragments, so there has to be the rest of it somewhere. So her bones washed down this pathway where they rested at the base of that column
That's amazing.
and gathered 2 inches of calcite.
What did they do with the
So in
remains?
this young woman's honor, they named that column the Princess Column.
Oh, okay.
Now her remains. In 1945, they changed the law. It was after World War II. They changed the law. You can't display unidentified bones. So we actually had to move them to the storage of the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So they're doing a little bit of research on those.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much that they can do.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
actually, when the guy was trying to date them, he says, there's no use for me to even date them because the cows, not settled by Indians.
No.
It was not. Until like 1500s, 1600s, I think. It was not even settled by Indians. It was just used as a passageway. The Shenandoah Valley was just used as a passageway because, you know, the river is the only river in the U.S. that flows north, the Shenandoah River. Only other one in the world is Nile, right?
There's like 10, I think. There's
The
ones,
Mon.
but- Or there's like 9. Nile and the Shenandoah are some of the major ones.
The Mon flows north.
That's
That's
another
it? Yeah, the more.
We live beside.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, yeah, but those are the two major ones, the two largest ones that do that. But so they used it as a passageway so that they can take, you know, goods and stuff, trade.
Yeah.
And it was like a free territory because, you know, Indians, if they intrude on another Indian's territory, then they can be attacked. So that they didn't want to have that happen here. So when people moved in, they started attacking them, huh?
This was more of a peaceful trade.
We will pass through Skeleton Scorch after we see the third view of Pluto's ghost. But for right now, we're going to see the second view of Pluto's ghost on our way to the main body.
Has there ever been any movies filmed in here or anything?
Yes.
This will be amazing for a movie.
Correct me if I'm wrong, The Other Side of Midnight.
Yep.
The Other Side of Midnight. Okay.
Don't know the year.
Yep,
Was
it had
the
the, I
It
don't
came out
remember the
when
year.
there was another movie that came out,
The
with
same
it.
year, so, and that one was more
and
popular.
that one became more popular, and then the other one was The Other
Sort of
Side of
pushed
Midnight was
aside.
forgotten.
I don't remember what that other movie was though, but
Some
it was really big.
some elderly people remember The Other Side of Midnight. It's an old movie, so
Yeah.
yeah.
I said it would be cool because in
It
a
was,
lot of the
it was filmed in
movies.
Totem Pole Valley.
Yeah.
Which
It was,
is
it
one
had
of
the
my
same
favorite
actress from Rocky Horror Picture Show. The, what's her name? Remember her name, Katie? Yeah, I don't
I'm
remember
not
her
good
name.
with actresses and
Me either.
actors' names. I know the faces. Be like, oh, they played in this movie,
Yeah,
movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know their names.
Their names.
So there's the second view of Pluto's ghost.
Yeah.
This column right here is Persephone, his wife. Or shall I say ex-wife?
Oh,
Because
really?
as this right here,
Yeah.
because as you can tell, those two are now separated.
Yeah.
I guess you could say they're married at rock bottom,
Get
right?
up in there. Look how cool. Look how cool it is up there. Wow. We
You hear me?
actually. I'm sorry.
They're married at rock bottom.
Oh yeah. They sure did.
You actually,
We live by Luray Caverns. You know where that is?
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I
It's not as,
haven't been in any other caverns.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think
This.
we have a magnet on our refrigerator upstairs
Oh,
for
really?
Royal Caverns from where someone went and visited and brought
Yeah.
one back.
Yeah, we've been there a few times.
I've only
This
been
one's
to
more amazing though.
I've only been to the Natural Bridge Cavern, which is the deepest on the East Coast, and the here, which is the most decorated and largest. So
Yeah, as I said, this one's more
on the East Coast,
amazing.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, out of the larger
So-
ones, we're just the most decorated. Out of the larger ones, we're the most decorated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is amazing. Yeah.
See, people walk through here, and they're some people. Oh, all right, well, this is big, but it's not as big as this cave. Well, you have to also think this is huge. The thing about the large formations we have in here fill in the space.
Yeah.
So it is larger, yeah. But it just doesn't seem that way because it's full. Like here, all of that's formations.
Uh-huh.
There's a dripping. I always get dripped on by those. Me and Naomi's tag team. Poor guy.
That's cool.
Did you get mad when I called you Naomi?
Oh.
I told you that we would see
You
her.
couldn't hear me.
I told you.
That's cool.
But, you couldn't hear me, I was like, really?
I told you that she would come out after that.
Yeah.
I was bored.
Yeah.
This is neat.
That's the problem with follow through. You have to have something to do. Yeah, they call them ripples.
Okay.
So water, it'll pull up and then it'll push the sediments back and then it'll harden and pull up. It's just like at Dream Lake. Yeah, pretty much all the bodies of water in here do that because of the minerals and stuff that pile up at the bottom.
I noticed that all the sides of the walkway are kind of have some concrete on them, maybe some type of a sealer,
yeah.
maybe to keep it from deteriorating.
It's actually on the weaker areas.
Yeah.
They put concrete on the outside so that water wouldn't wash away at that over time because it's weaker material in it.
Yeah.
So they keep it
That's
pushed
amazing.
back.
That almost looks like
They don't want to-
icicles over there. Like, you know, in the winter time, you see where water froze coming down.
Yeah. We actually call that our frozen waterfall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. It has another name, Titania's Veil, after the
It's amazing right there.
Shakespearean play
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Wow.
That's what it is.
I almost feel
Yep.
like a dinosaur's gonna come out somewhere.
It definitely has that feel.
Yeah, it does, like Jurassic Park almost. Yeah.
That's Titania's Veil actually it's flowstone, so it takes it takes 300 years to form 1 cubic inch.
300 years.
It takes longer. Now the fish market that's also flowstone, but it's turned into draperies because of how long the parts got and because underneath of it it's free and open so that the water can come down even further and it'll form drapery formations, which is I'll point out later on. So this is the main body. It's the largest and driest chamber in the caverns. The reason why it is the driest is because we are currently under the crest of Cave Hill. And the water flows from the east to the west rather than getting the formations in the center of the crest. We do also have a few figures if you want me to point them out in here. I think they're cute. Right here is our Liberty Bell.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or if you're a fan of Star Wars, it might even be Darth Vader's helmet.
Okay, yeah.
Right below our Liberty Bell, we have Snoopy's Doghouse. Unfortunately, you will not be seeing Snoopy today because
yeah.
he was scared away by our cave snake.
Oh, no.
See the snake's head poking out right there?
I see that.
Yeah, he's helping me out. Now, if you also look inside of the doghouse, not many tour guides know about this. I'll point this out.
Okay.
But you'll see a raccoon peeping its head out. See the raccoon's head? See it, Naomi?
No.
Come up here.
I say from this angle I see nothing.
Yeah.
See the raccoon right there? The raccoon sticking its head out.
Do you see what she's talking about?
I believe.
Right there.
Right there. Okay, okay.
See the raccoon
Uh-huh.
sticking its head out right there?
That's
I know what you're trying to have me see, I just don't see it.
You don't see the raccoon?
No.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, so our next stop's right around the corner.
Okay.
Maybe you don't see that. It's
Sorry.
so cute.
Just got to have an imagination. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, raccoons, they kill snakes.
That's what they
right?
tell me all the time.
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to get out and kill that one.
Which is kind of strange because I have a really big imagination.
Really?
But it's alright.
So, I don't know if you like poker. You like poker? Poker?
She likes lots. You got any of them?
Do you like poker?
Yeah, it's okay.
See right back up there? Here, videotape that if you want. See back up there? It's a right now it says room inside of there. And you actually, the tour guides up into the 1920s would actually take their tip money after work and go back there and play poker against each other.
Cool.
Yep, it's a perfect room, it's flat inside. Yep.
I like the ones that touch the floor.
This chamber here actually overlooks into Giant's Hall. So you want to go and look over this railing here, it overlooks into Giant's Hall. Now that's the deepest point, we'll be down there shortly.
Now that reminds me of a little pine tree down there.
Yeah, we call it a frozen Christmas tree,
Yeah.
seashell, pine cone.
Yeah. That reminds
and
me of
upside down ice cream cone.
Oh.
It's our seasonal formation.
Yeah.
So. Cool. And here to your left is our largest and oldest formation in the caverns, our giant redwood tree formation. Now scientists have estimated this formation to be over 7 million years old. It could be
Wow.
older than that, but that is the minimum it could be.
Yeah.
It is 120 feet in circumference at its base and 40 feet in height. Now, when I look at this formation, I do not see a giant redwood tree. My imagination takes me to a big shaggy dog. Right there being the big shaggy head, the front legs, the back legs, and a big shaggy tail. You could also add on a trunk and call it a woolly mammoth.
Yeah.
Look, see that? I see a woolly mammoth, personally. It's my favorite prehistoric creature.
Now this down here in the middle reminds me of
see
a
it?
skeleton.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, me
That one I can see.
Yeah, for sure.
The skeleton's foot hanging down through there.
Yeah, that's what that reminds me of, that middle part.
Thing is,
A
though, if you see the
skeleton's foot.
camel up here.
Yeah,
And
it's
this
a flying
looks
camel. It's a
like
flying
this
camel.
looks like
Or
somebody's
Sea
hand.
turtle.
Somebody's hand sticking up right there. See it?
Yeah, I see the fingers.
Yeah.
I said, see, this reminds me of a skeleton foot.
Yeah.
And that looks like somebody's
That
hand.
crack in there was actually caused by a waterfall.
I was just
Like I
thinking.
told you before, like if it flows too fast, then it actually does the reverse. It
Yeah.
actually takes more off than it puts on.
Yeah. I was thinking how pretty that would be if water was coming down there.
On the head. It's a sea turtle.
Sea turtle.
Yeah, what did you think I said?
Sea girl.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a sea girl.
I'm like, what?
No,
Are you
sea
calling it
turtle.
a mermaid?
Yep.
Yeah. Right there. Sea turtle, she said.
Oh, yeah.
Flying camel, cave dragon.
That's neat.
Fits the bill
Yeah.
anyway. So the view over this hand railing is the overlooking the Totem Pole Valley.
Oh, cool. Oh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that.
Yeah, that's where it was filmed.
Now, what is
The-
that? What is that?
What?
Right there. Is that? It looks like a
It's a
piece of.
stalagmite.
It looks like a tree, a small tree trunk, doesn't it?
Right there.
Like, yeah. Without
it's
the
a
light shining
stalagmite.
on it.
It's got a wire hooked up there for some reason. See that, Naomi?
Might have been a light up there at some point before they took it out.
Probably, yeah.
Oh my,
They do that
I
sometimes.
know, look at this.
that got me.
That's crazy. So pretty.
Yeah, this is where it was filmed. Now, before we had the pathways and stuff put in,
Yeah.
it actually had a staircase there was a pathway and it had a staircase that went down
Yeah.
into the Giant's Hall.
So you call this Totem Pole Valley, you said?
Totem Pole Valley, yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
It's got all the totem poles.
Yeah, I see that. That's cool.
And right here, we'll be coming around and coming through Totem Pole Valley. And we'll pass by this. Now we call that the wishing rock. Because if you were to run into this, you would really wish you had it. So we like to call that the wishing rock.
These are really cool because they're kind of flat.
Yeah, those are actually drapery formations.
Okay.
Drapery formations form slightly different than
Yeah.
stalactites, than regular dripstone. A stalactite would form, the water would either flow down in a spiral pattern or flow straight down the formation. Now these flow down differently. It actually flows down in a zigzag pattern,
Oh, okay.
depositing thin layers of minerals on its way. Now some of them flow down like that in zigzag pattern. Those would be like the ones that are like all like that, and
Yeah.
you see them on the ceiling sometimes. You'll see around there. I'll point them out once we get around there. It's my favorite formation.
Okay.
And then the ones that flow straight down, like she was saying,
Yeah.
the ones that flow straight down are the ones you see right here. So it'll flow straight down, and it makes a thin drapery-looking formation. And actually, we do have the most perfectly formed drapery in the world right here, right there, actually.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's Saracens Tent, right there. Yep, Saracens Tent was recognized by National Geographic to be the most perfectly formed drapery in the world.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And what you were pointing out right there, that big
Yeah,
dome,
that's
we call
neat
it the
looking.
Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Yeah, that's cool. It's neat.
Yeah, we have formations in here that have names that we don't point out on the tour, but there's so many formations with names.
Oh, yeah.
Because a
I bet.
person comes in here and they're like, oh, that's what that looks like, and
Yeah.
sometimes it sticks, sometimes it don't.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
depending on-
everybody has their own imagination of what
Important
they
people.
see and stuff.
If multiple people see that in that,
Yeah,
then it gets named that. Or if it's a high-end person, like,
right.
Something unique about our caverns is they actually hired a bunch of artists
Yeah.
to come down here right after it was discovered to name a bunch of our formations. That's why we have such unique names
Yeah.
and that aren't like other caverns.
Yeah, this one's really cool too, right there.
didn't know that.
It's really tall.
Should read the discovery book.
Wow.
Yeah, I
Really
like
neat.
that.
It's really good.
Yeah, I
Even
think-
this
I
is
think
neat
mine can
looking
carry
right here. It looks like a piece of petrified wood, doesn't it? Like an
it's
old
really
tree.
I put it down.
Wow, amazing.
So right here, if you take a peek inside of Saracens Tent, you can see that lit directed formation right there. We call that
Yeah.
our cave bath towel. We have tourists come through. You sell bath towels up in the cave, up in the gift shop that say cave bath towel on it. We'd buy it. I'm like, I bet you would. So you see the lines at the bottom.
Yeah,
It
looks
makes
like
it
a
look like a
towel.
bath towel. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I always thought as a kid, I swear, I came through here and I was like, why did they put a towel in there? Now I know it's not a towel,
it's
but
not real, yeah.
it looks exactly like one.
Really
That's
sick,
cool.
stitchy.
Yeah.